All right, we're live. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon to another live from Vegas. With me, David Collins. And we were discussing a picture here. And hang on for a minute. Got to mute myself. And we were discussing this picture before we went live. No, I cleaned off the top of the refrigerator, and that's where I put a lot of envelopes with stickers. And this one had fallen way underneath, and this was in an envelope with some stickers that Dizzy sent me. But I know Dizzy's in it. Next to Dizzy is I think it's Sheena or Shana or Sheena,
Gina.
and then going down in the black in the corner or close to the corner, that's Tina, and then right below Tina is Captain Jerk, and that's all who I know.
You should have made that the thumbnail.
Oh, I could have. I'll do it next week's.
Oh, that was the mail lady.
Oh,
Possibly an unboxing during this event.
there's an unboxing.
Yes.
You got some?
I've added to the collection. So if the USPS has done what they were supposed to do and it all arrives in one piece and you don't hear tinkle tinkle, then we'll have a little treat.
No, the only thing I'm expecting is I stopped and put everything back because when I ordered the access panel for in the garage there, that's going to be a lot of extra storage for me underneath there.
That didn't look like that much room on, but the video you can't
Yeah,
tell.
well, I'm in a probably I want to say maybe 12 maybe 12 inches by maybe about 8-inch hole between two studs that I was sticking everything in, and I had to put the light and the camera in there. So yeah, but that's going to be a lot of storage. I mean, I got a lot of boxes around here of when I remodeled the room and I got extra flooring that I wanted to hang on to. And every closet upstairs has a box of flooring in it, so I can throw all that underneath there. So yeah, it's going to
Well,
be a lot.
you could just store all the extra bits of what materials the house was made out of, in case you
Yeah.
have to do a repair.
If you need to do a repair, you got the flooring. It's underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
But T-Dub remarked, this is year 23 that we've been in this house. And T-Dub remarked that sat there, he says, you've been talking about that doing this from day one.
You
And
just
I
wanted to know what was underneath there. You want to know what secret was hiding under.
Yeah. And I sat there and I said, I know, I've been talking about making this into a storage space. So,
Yeah, my grandmother had a closet in her house, like a coat closet, linen closet, whatever you want to call it. And the floor was always about a foot higher than it should have been. And her house was built in 1880, and somehow we got the idea that there was, during Prohibition, that's where they hid the alcoholic beverages in the house.
okay.
But my great uncle, her brother, was in World War II, and he brought a machine gun home from Germany, German machine gun, and they stored it. It's not legal for you to own military issue machine gun. So they stored it under that big step in that closet. So just in case anybody ever came in the house.
I know it's the little town that I grew up in Northbrook, Illinois. That's northern Illinois, about 35 miles northwest of Chicago. Every spring, they would have what is called, or not every what was it? Every 3 or 4 years, every spring, it was on a cycle that they would have called the Village of Northbrook Junk Day, and you could put cars down at the curb and say take the car. You'd do it. So as kids, we'd ride around and look at everybody else's junk.
Oh, it was fun. They do that here.
Yeah. So it turned out to be that in somebody's junk, a couple streets over from where I grew up, my parents' house, a guy was throwing out a World War II mortar and bazooka, and I picked it up. And we sat up the mortar in the backyard, and we used to drop and the mortar would just perfectly fit a Campbell soup can. It would slide down the bore of the mortar just perfect. So we would, after we empty Campbell soup can, we throw an M80 down there and then throw the Campbell soup can out there, and we'd launch that thing about 25 yards, maybe 30 yards, until a buddy of mine had it in the trunk of his car and got pulled over by the cops, and oh, you can't have this. And
the cops probably confiscated it.
They took it, and we didn't even know it. It still had the firing pin in it.
We my grandmother moved out of the house into an apartment, and I don't know how it happened, but she ended up having to go to the, it's too long ago for me to remember the details about it being how she had to go down to some government office, and they took a picture of her with the gun. She was allowed to keep it as long as there was no ammo. No clip. It didn't have a clip. And I don't know that much about World War II arms or anything, but as long as it didn't have a clip, she was legal to possess it, but she had to register it with the government somehow so they would know that she had it. And they took a picture of her and the picture was her and the gun laying on the table in front of her. And they let her, as a Polaroid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they just took a Polaroid photo. It's put on file somewhere. I don't know whatever happened to that thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't even remember what happened to the bazooka. I mean, I threw it back in my dad's garage when I was still living at home. I threw it in the back of my dad's garage, and I don't even know what he might. When we cleaned out the house and sold it, the bazooka wasn't there. So
I think my uncle got it back. He's the big gun buff in the family.
Oh, okay. So what else going on?
There's nothing going on. We're in phase 2.5, and I don't know what that means.
Okay.
It's somewhere between 2 and 3.
Shandog's in the house.
Shandog is the link in the
link's in there if he wants to jump in. So aren't you getting the tail end of that hurricane that came in, or Sally or whatever? Aren't you guys getting the remnants of that?
I haven't been watching, but it rained all day yesterday.
Yeah, you got the remnants.
Pretty good downpours.
That's okay. If you looked at, I saw the world national news last night for the first time in a long time, and if they showed the weather, and these things are stacking up out in the Atlantic. I think there's like about 3 of them going on in the Atlantic right now.
I saw that. Yeah. You're
going, oh man, this is a heck of a season.
It was on Facebook, and somebody made a joke out of it, and I don't remember what the joke was about. Their picture showed about 5 of those in the Atlantic in various stages of getting developed.
Nancy and I lived, or I would say I was stationed in Tampa, Florida for about at MacDill for 2.5 years. Nancy was there for about 1.5 years of that, because I went on leave and got married. And and the whole time I was down there, we never got a hurricane East Coast, because my uncle lived on the East Coast, and if I didn't have weekend duty, I was headed to the East Coast of Florida every weekend, go to my uncle's house. And we never got hit. The 2.5 years, we never got hit with a hurricane or anything. So.
Well, I lived in Virginia. It's nerve-wracking. In Virginia, you wouldn't get much from a hurricane, but every now and then you'd get like hit with a Category 1, and they just did. And my mother lost her garage. It's a complete loss. The insurance company is going to give her the money to completely remove it, all the old garage, and build a new garage. But it's really nerve-wracking. The year before I moved away from there, they had like 3 of those, but not all Category 1s, but most of them are tropical storms by the time and it's not the tropical storm itself that's such a bad deal. It's the anticipation of it, the uncertainty, the not knowing, and that's the nerve wracking. If you know a category 3, not 3, but if you know a category 1 force storm is going to hit you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday afternoon, June 5th, well, you batten down the hatches and get the heck out and then come home when it's all over with. But it's the not knowing when it's going to happen and the uncertainty about what damage it's going to be.
Shandog just said he'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. No, we're back to our normal September weather, upper 90s, maybe hit triple digits, but you're talking 5-6% humidity. It's like your 90-degree day, back there with the humidity is like 100 degrees here. So, I mean, as far as heat index wise. So we're back to that. But
we haven't had a day where it went over 80 degrees in about a week.
And
it's about 75 degrees out there right now.
And I want to take a break from painting. That's why I'm doing all this stuff in the garage. Because
you better hurry up. Okay, but better.
Oh, I could probably paint. I could probably honestly paint up until the end of October.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not worried. And if not, then the first of spring I could paint again, because I'm not looking at it. When the hood's closed, you're not seeing what's wrong. So, but tomorrow I plan on, if I got to figure out tonight, I'm going to figure out how to mount the camera in the Camaro, and we're going to go for a ride. I've been meaning to take it out. And so I figured I'd videotape it.
100-mile drive so you can check all the bolts and everything.
Yeah, just take it around and check everything. Yeah, because then the next thing is, once I want to do that fan shroud on the radiator, is I got to take the cooling system down, and while it's that, I'm going to put it up on jack stands and go through the whole car again, nut and bolt and everything, and check it. And this will be the second time I do it, and every time I do it, I feel more comfortable. I can take the car further and further out, because I've never torn a car down this much in my entire life as I did this Camaro. So,
do you have a halfway decent torque wrench?
Oh, I got two of them.
What the torque spec is on those bolts?
Yep, I got two of them, and actually, I know what every spec, taking it apart and putting it back together several times. I know all the torque and the pretty much the sequence. But there is on body bolts, there isn't too much of a sequence. You just tighten them up and torque them. And that's the main thing that we took off was the subframe. We had it off, we had it back on, we had it off, we had it back on, and then Pat and I had to readjust it. So those bolts have been loosened up and tightened up several times.
Yeah, I watched poor old Harvey Spooner take stuff apart, put it back together, aren't you eventually going to wear the bolts out?
Yeah. Well, the bolts. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but the stereo system and the battery that's in the trunk, that's all coming back out. That was just there to mock up to get the wiring, because what I did is I made a cable harness, but that's all coming back out. Because I gotta still once I figure out what sound deadening material I'm going to use, that's got to be applied. And so the subwoofer, the ECM that sits on the package tray, and the battery case all have to come out. And then we'll put the sound deadening material in, and that's when we really start the interior. But I don't want to do that until I get the windows in. So. And I'm just about halfway to the windows, saving the money. It's $1,000, so I'm about $5 in the bank right now. I got
good
in my Mad Money bank account for me, for the car.
I call that your discretionary account.
I call it the Mad Money account. Because a couple of people said I'm crazy for taking this long and doing this to this car. I'll never get it out. And I says, I don't plan on selling it. And I said, do you understand the term labor of love? And he goes, yeah. And I says, there it is. Still didn't understand it. So you have your opinion, I have mine.
Oh, okay.
So I sent the links to Hazy and Dizzy. I told Dizzy I had this picture. I want to talk to him about it because they all autographed it on the back.
I think they sent me one of those too.
Yeah.
It's with all the stickers.
Yeah, it came with stickers. And so I wanted to ask him about it. I said, I know. Let's see, there are a total of what? 7 people in the picture, and I know 4 of them. So, and I wanted to ask him. So I told him I had a picture, and I come on the show. I'm going to ask you. And I sent Hazy the link, and also I sent Jimmy C. So he was on last night, but I went on the show, and they were too busy talking about everything in the whole 9 yards. They didn't even send me a link or say hi. So they had some other agenda going on, I guess. I don't know.
You were up. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Tom. I didn't make it at all to that show.
Neither did I.
Well,
I did, and I watched for probably about 45 minutes, and then I sat there and I said, well, so let's get back out in the garage. And I went back out in the garage.
There was one particular live show. I'm not going to say who it was, but they were probably just having a bad day, and they didn't acknowledge that I was watching the show. I wasn't acknowledged at all. And so,
hey,
I through the show and left.
I sent Jimmy C and I sent Captain Jerk both the links, so we'll see if they pop up.
But anyhow, it's just too late for me. I haven't made it to any Jimmy C shows. Make an effort to make it to the Tuesday afternoon one. Mm-hmm. And I came out here at 3:00. And I figured it was too late to catch the tail end of it. No, I came out and it was 5:00. I'm sure it was all over with by 5:00.
Yeah. And Pat's not feeling too well, and so I don't think he'll be on. And T-Dub is in. He's in the office. Because apparently he's starting a class. He's got a class coming in on Monday that he's got to teach. They opened up the school again, so he's back to teaching. And so he wanted to get in there and get everything all lined out and get the handouts and everything. Get the classroom ready for it because nobody's been in the classroom since March. So he's getting that all ready. So and he said he doesn't think that he'll be on. But we'll see. And so that's everybody I sent the link, and everybody replied and told me what they're doing. Cheers.
Cheers.
I still haven't figured out this video camera. I can get it to take pictures. I can get it to do everything, but I can't download off it. I still haven't figured out how to download off it. Then actually I can set it up remotely and then use my phone as the viewer and then work at remote control. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So, and other than the door, other than doing the door, that's all that's going on in my life.
It's not a GoPro.
No, that's not a GoPro. It's Ultra HD, and that's the only brand, that's the only name that's on it. Digital, it's a DVC, digital video camera.
Sounds like it's a webcam.
So,
if you can't, does it have a SD card in it, just like all the other ones?
Yeah. So.
That's weird.
Oh, Shandog says he's listening. Must be driving. I just realized he had a comment in there. I'm listening. So See, so once I get the garage done, I got to sit down and think of what I want to do on the Camaro. If the weather permits and everything else, then I'll just probably get Pat over here and we'll pull the hood and mask it off and put it in the body stand and then just turn around and go ahead and scuff and paint and clear it. Be done with the painting then. But we'll have to see what the weather is and whether I got tired of painting. I did 3 panels in a row, one right after another.
Yes.
I did the front bumper, I did the upper cowl panel, and then I did the spoiler on the back. Yeah, I did bam, 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 all 3. And the only one that required bodywork paint, priming, and painting was the front bumper, and the cowl panel was a touch up, but I just repainted it anyway, at least the blue. And the spoiler was sand and repaint anyway. The white, the pearl, and the blue. So, okay, cool. I'm going to send. I found a little bottle bigger than this, just a little, not bigger, but a little smaller than this. And Captain Jerk said send me some of send me some of the paint, and he's going to sit there and make it into a skull that I can use for a shift handle.
Oh, I wonder why you were sending him a sample of your paint. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to experiment, he said, and put it in and see if he could sit there and do it as a dye or a tint, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what he's doing in his resin pouring, whether it's a tint or whether it's a dye or what, but he's using the color blue to sit there and to make a blue metallic skull, so I can drill and tap it and use it or drill and put a metal insert, and then so we can sit there and make a shift handle. So I thought that was kind of neat. Plus, I'm sending him 2 of these. He wants to encase. Wait, no, upside down. He wants to encase this in some resin too, and figure out how he's going to do a skull resin.
All right.
That'd be kind of cool. But we'll see that. So, other than the car and the house and doing that stuff, nothing else going on here. Same stuff, different day. What did somebody say? S squared. So, and let's see. Yeah, that's it. You know who everybody is in the picture, David?
Make the picture big.
Okay, hang on.
So present yourself. Yeah, he sent me that picture. He must have had some postcards. And no, I don't know who everybody is, but the names were on the back of the picture.
Yeah, but try to read some handwriting.
Oh, yeah. See, mine was just like that. I can't help you with handwriting. They all signed it. But I don't know how they whether they took individual photographs and individually signed them. They probably just had one photograph and had copies made from it.
Well, it's 3 years old because Tina, when she signed it, she put the date on it. February 4th, 2017. That would explain why Sheena's got a sweatshirt on.
Yeah, it was in the wintertime. I think it was around Christmas time.
February. February.
Okay.
Okay. So, has anybody heard from Anthony?
Yes.
How's he doing?
Well, I heard it from him Tuesday. He was in the chat on the Jimmy C live show.
Oh, he was?
He didn't come up on there live because he's still digging out from the hurricane.
Okay.
But yeah, he's alive.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious on that and seeing if he was okay. or what's he up to? Because he came on briefly on my show, and he lost his carport, lost his shop, and the garage was damaged, I think, but the house was pretty much okay. I think that's what he ended up saying.
Well, can you imagine everything in his shop? If he didn't lose it, it rained on it and got it all wet.
Yeah.
All of his tools, everything ruined. Either it would have to be replaced, and I'm sure insurance would replace it.
Well, this is where you pray that your insurance will replace it, because this is where you wish that you can be the asshole that they become. And excuse my French, I'm going to use some cuss words here, but you wish at this time of your life when dealing with your insurance company, because I know I've dealt with them on 2 different houses on 2 different items, and you wish you could be the prick or asshole, you use whatever word you want to, that they do when they want their premium money. Hey, you got 90 days or we'll cancel you. Give us some money, that type.
Yeah, they're kind of like the IRS.
Hey, don't pick. Yeah. So but then when it comes time for them to pay the claim, they must. I told one insurance agent I want him to print all their excuses up, and then number them 1 through 30 or 1 through 40, and then when I call, all you can sit there and tell me is number 9, and then I can look at that list and I go, check has not hit the office yet. Oh, okay. And so then next week when I call and ask what's going on, where's the check so I get my house fixed, you can sit there and look at your list of excuses and tell me, number 4. Oh, not okayed by the supervisor yet. Okay.
What, your insurance company's not getting your premiums?
No. I'm talking about when your house got damaged and now you're dealing with the insurance company and the amount of excuses that they keep coming out with on where the money is or the appraiser is to get your house fixed. And
well, my mom didn't have a stitch of trouble. They were out there like the appraiser or assessor was out there the day after it happened looking around. She got the tree removed out of her big old oak tree fell. They came and took the tree out and cleaned the yard up and everything.
What insurance company? What was
Nationwide?
Huh?
Nationwide.
Okay. State Farm was insured my first house, and we insured it was being an old house built back in the 50s, and we were like the zillionth owner on it, and it was a fixer-upper. We insured it for everything. I mean, everything. If the roof started leaking, everything, just to cover myself and picking that thing up, because we had a home inspection, but I
didn't know you could get insurance on the roof like that. That would have saved me a lot of money when I bought my house.
And so they came out and they inspected the house before, and we sat down and talked about how far we want to write it up and everything else. And it was State Farm. And once the guy looked at it and he wrote it up and said, okay, fine, we got the house homeowner's insurance policy and got it done. About 3 to 4 years in living in the house, and I'm working, taking each room at a time, gutting it down to the studs, replacing the insulation and sheetrock, and rebuilding each room as we're going through it. And at that time, it was just me, Nancy, and T-Dub. Pat wasn't in the picture yet. And the roof started leaking. And it was a regular tar and gravel roof that they have out here in the Southwest. And the roof started leaking. And all it was is the fact that it was worn down the wind had finally worn it down right at the crown. And the tar wore down, and it was getting in and leaking in there. Well, State Farm just hemmed and hawed and, well, I don't know. I said, well, can you send an adjuster? I don't know. So finally, I went to Home Depot because we were in the middle of the monsoon season, and it happened to be a good one. And I had to get a couple of dry days to where I went and got some mastic at Home Depot and just masked that whole top of the crown and stopped the water from coming in. Okay. Yeah. And turned around and sat there and submitted State Farm a bill. And I was fair on my labor and everything else in the whole 9 yards to fix my roof.
Yeah.
And then, where's the check? Well, I don't know. The supervisor's got to, okay, where's that? Well, I don't know. They got to do, where's this? That was the whole thing on that. As soon as I got my money from State Farm, I dropped them out.
Yeah. Out the door.
I got farmers insurance over and showed them the same thing, what I'm doing and how I wanted to insure the house. Agent said, okay. The 18 years that we were in that house after State Farm, we never had an issue with farmers insurance. They were Johnny on the spot. That's why I was making that little. And then when we had an issue in this house once, about 10 years after it was built, and all it was a plumber forgot to screw a fitting on that went to the sink in the island, and it's flooded out actually the room I'm in right now. And
would have never had to make a claim on homeowners insurance, never.
Yeah. Feel lucky.
And all the, well, I have renters insurance, but in North Carolina, it's a homeowner's policy.
So that's why I was wondering how.
But I owned a house for 10 years and never made one claim on the insurance. Probably could have.
Well, we've been in this house 23 years, and we did one claim, and that claim was not due to wear or age or anything else. The claim is that the plumber, when he installed the piping going from the hot and cold water side, it comes from the garage overhead in this room, down the wall that's to the left of me, and underground to the island to feed the kitchen sink water supply. The plumber forgot to sit there and to glue the 90 on. So it sat there compacted in dirt all this time, slowly leaking and deteriorating the earth around it, till it finally had enough earth watered down and moved away that the 90 blew off. And then it flooded this room here, then it flooded this room here.
Well, my in-laws did, two things happened. They built a brand new house. And all of a sudden, we were all there. It was Christmas or whatever. And suddenly the kitchen floor got all wet. And there was water coming out from under where the kitchen sink is. Turns out that the drain line going down, they turned the dishwasher to run the dishwasher through a cycle. They lived in the house for about a year, 6 months or a year. And all of a sudden, water started coming out from underneath. So we thought the dishwasher was blowing up or something like that. I got under there and looked at the pipes, and it was leaking out of the drain pipe. Well, the plumber forgot to put a washer in, a seal. I said, well, this is an easy fix. They just forgot to put this little seal. One quick run to the hardware store, and the problem was solved. But we caught it in time. Water came out on their hardwood. They had hardwood floor all the way through the house, even in the kitchen. And she said, it's a good thing we caught that, because that water would have ruined that floor. And the other thing, they were on vacation, and they came home from vacation, and they heard this. They had well water. So they heard this, and they didn't know where it was coming from. And it was under the house somewhere. So my father-in-law got under the house, and there was water spraying out all underneath the house. And they had a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
So he got out and turned the well pump off so the water would stop pumping. Well, it turned out that there was an elbow. The plumber put a cast iron elbow where there should have been one made out of copper or something like that, some metal that didn't rust. But he had mixed copper and brass or something like that. For whatever reason, it was the mains coming into the house from the well.
Yeah, the trellis. If he did
the rest of the house, copper. They were two different kinds of metals, and they just used plain steel.
Electrolysis corrodes up, and then finally, eventually starts.
And it's well water, so it probably has lime or iron or whatever in the water to start with. We used to bottle that water when we would go down there to visit. We would fill jugs up with that well water and take it home with us and drink it, because it was that well was over 400 feet deep.
Oh,
there was no water you couldn't buy water like that. So we
Good
take
water. Huh?
2 or 3 jugs full of it home and stick them in the refrigerator.
It had to be good water if you went to that effort.
So we took our empties with us and filled them up with water before we left.
Okay. Yeah.
Saved us from having to buy bottled water.
So, you watching any of the football?
No, I'm not a big football fan. Tom, I'm sorry. Are you watching it?
I'm a somewhat of a fan, but not really that. I'm not as diehard as, hold on, let me make sure I got a case of beer and give me all the munchies in the world and leave me
you've
alone.
asked me, you've asked what's going on several times, and it's not like I'm not doing anything.
I wanted to see what they're doing, how noisy it was going to be without anybody in the stadium. The noise. And then come to find out that the NFL approved the stadium owners to play crowd noise, but they couldn't go over 70 decibels. And so
that's not a lot of noise, 70.
No. And so then I watched one game, and you could hear the crowd in the background and everything else, but you definitely heard quarterbacks calling signals. And then I watched another game, and before they showed the stands, it was the Bears and the Lions game, the Bears at the Detroit Lions. And then before they showed the stands, I said, well, they got their stuff turned up a little bit louder. And then they showed the stands, and they weren't filled. It looked like 50% capacity, but there were people in the stands.
It must have been wherever they were playing the game. It must have been.
And then the other reason why I'm watching is because of all the brand new stadiums that were built that are completed this year. The Rams got a new stadium. Of course, the Las Vegas Raiders, our new stadium. And that's that premieres on Monday Night Football this Monday night. So also I'm watching it to sit there and look at all these new stadiums. Chargers, I think, got a new stadium. There was one other team, I can't remember, but all the new. And I want to see the new stadiums, so that's why I'm watching this year.
I used to just sit and watch football with my dad to have an excuse to sit there and drink beer. Sometimes he'd break out the hard stuff, and the game would be going on, and he would fall asleep on the couch, and he'd wake up and he'll say, "David, I fell asleep. What happened? Where are we?" No, you keep asking me what's going on. I got something going on in my life. It's just not something I'm talking about, because it's personal. It has to do with it's something I'm working through, and that's all I can say about it. It's not like I'm sitting around doing nothing. I work 3 days a week. I got house cleaning. Church may start up next month. We may start this first Sunday in October. Will be our first Sunday that we're going to meet. We're watching the statistics and make sure that the COVID cases don't spike back up. They're steadily going down. The cases numbers are going down.
Yeah, they're going down here now, but they're not opening up or releasing anything else. Let's say opening stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And it's like they're dropping now. They said they have been dropping all week. Yesterday they had a little spike, but yet it's still dropping. And they're not going to any different stages. They're staying everything the way it's until it levels out. The governor wants the playing field to be level before he does anything else.
I think people were allowed to meet in groups of 10 and wear masks and be 6 feet apart. But after this 2.5, you can have group of 25 and wear masks. And the churches, some churches are meeting now. They're doing things like they're not singing any hymns. They don't have anybody singing, and you have to wear a mask all the way through the service. And we had this one church. In fact, we sold our building last year and we're renting space until we have time to find a new building or build a new building. And the church that's hosting us, that's putting us up, they opened for a while and they had people come that refused to wear masks, and they said, no, you have to wear a mask. If we don't, so they closed it.
Mm-hmm.
They quit having services.
Because I mean, it's very hard. It's very hard, I would say, for a pastor or a minister or what, turn away parishioners that want to come to worship because they don't have a mask on. And I'm sorry, they got to do that. If not, they'll get closed down.
Well, those are the rules. 88.
Hazy's in the house or in the chat. Sent you a link if you want to come up. Yeah, but I was curious on what NASCAR was going to do when they started racing, and there's nobody in the stands. And that's why I wanted to get on Jimmy C's last night, because I want Jimmy to ask his wife, because his wife's a big wrestling fan, and I've been tuning into Monday Night Raw and to sit there and see what Vince has been doing. And now he's got monitors where the seats go around the stadium. He's got monitors in there, and it looks like he's doing a major YouTube channel type or a StreamYard type thing, because there's faces of fans all on these monitors, and you can see it's like StreamYards, and everybody's got their face, and they're all sitting, and the monitors are all located around,
like Rubik's Cube or something.
With all, yeah, it does. And he did it really neat, because all the monitors are different size monitors. You know, as they go through, you don't have no two size monitors the same. I don't know if these people paid Vince money, get to come on, like, you know, give me the link and I get to come on, and I'm on. And so if the camera pans me, they see my face on this monitor, and I get to watch WWE. I don't know how. That's why I wanted to ask Jimmy.
Well, send Jimmy C an email and see if
his wife, isn't she a big wrestling fan?
Yeah, she has her own channel and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, I have her.
But I didn't want to go on and send, you know, simple question. Is he charging for this? How do you do it? I mean, and that's it. I'm just trying to figure out all these.
Well, you don't have to go on you can send him an email and ask him.
Yeah, I could. Hazy
in the living room with the puzzle paper.
Cheers. I've been off the booze for 18 days.
Awesome.
I haven't had a drink of alcoholic beverage since for 3 days. It's cooled off. It's finally fall.
Nice. I haven't had a drink, or I haven't smoked a cigarette for 18 days.
There you go. You quitting smoking and drinking at the same time?
Yep. I haven't smoked weed, I haven't smoked a cigarette, and I haven't had a drink.
Damn.
Yeah. And I bought myself a mountain bike.
They can't keep them in stock here.
So you're gonna pedal your ass around your neighborhood then?
Yeah. Well, 2 days ago I took Jack on a bike ride. We done 14.5 miles. We pedaled 7 miles to down to Cardiff Bay. We stopped and had some food and then pedaled back, which was a hell of a slog for my first day riding a bike for ages. And then today I went out on my own and done 18 miles.
Damn. 9 miles. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and lose a bit of weight, get a little bit fitter, and sort my shit out. You know.
Okay. Can't blame.
I was falling into a slight depression, and it wasn't doing me no good. So
I was hoping to get Dizzy on. I found this on top of my refrigerator. It's a picture that he sent me with a bunch of stickers.
Yeah.
And they all autographed it on the back. And I can name 4 of the 7 people that are in there, but the other 3 I don't know.
Nice.
So when I sent Dizzy the link, I told him, I said, I got a picture. Got to ask you a question. Come on the show. So if not, I'll have to sit there and maybe go to Hangouts and ring them up.
Yeah. I've seen that picture before. I think you've got a copy of that picture.
I have a copy of it. I wouldn't be able to put my hand on it right now, but I have it.
Well, up until a day or two ago, I didn't know I had a copy of it.
I think it's in the top of my toolbox, if I'm not mistaken. I set up a little section for everything that had to do with YouTube. I got it all together. I mean, it's not down in oil or something like that. It's a space that I made for it. Everything had to do with YouTube.
No, he sent me some stickers, and this was in the envelope, and this was in the envelope sitting on top of the refrigerator in the garage. So, and when I cleaned off that top of the refrigerator on Wednesday, I found it.
Yeah. So are you fellas keeping? You all good?
Yeah, we're good.
All good. Yeah.
Tomorrow
You're
we're
about
going
to go into phase 2 of lockdown.
We're in 2.5 right now.
We're 2.0 if I remember correctly, and
What
holding.
does that mean?
I never did figure that out, but we could have 10 people, groups of 10, social distancing with masks. Now we can have a group of 25.
Well, we can go on public transport with whoever you want. You can go to the pub and drink all night with whoever you want. Catch a bus back with them. All good. You can't have anybody in your house.
Well, see, now we have starting Sunday.
If you go into a supermarket,
I'll have to
Daisy, if I go knocking on your door, who's going to stop you from letting me in?
No, listen. It gets better. The government are telling people, if you see a neighbor with more people in their house than they should, phone the police.
Well, how many people can you have in a house?
I'm not sure.
Okay, hello. I'm pissed off at my neighbor. The police don't know this, but I've been having a feud with my neighbor, Hazy Days. Guy's an asshole. And so I'm pissed off at him. Hello?
And he's got 10 people in his house.
My next door neighbor, he's got 25 people in his house throwing a fucking party. You better come over and bust his ass. All right, thanks. Bye. Fuck you, neighbor.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're going to start.
They're opening a book of worms that they don't even want to get into, man, or a can of worms.
It's crazy. There is a loophole if you want a party, though. What you've got to do, you've got to tell everybody to come as fancy dressed as a police officer, and then they'll think somebody's already phoned the police on you.
Or to see if somebody's having a wild, big
Outstanding. Never would have thought of that. That's outstanding. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, so that's the way around it.
Public,
but it's getting ridiculous now. I mean, they're just talking through their fucking asses.
Here it's not getting. I mean, they're going slow and crawling stages and everything else. It's like Sunday at 11:59. If you own a bar in the state of Nevada, you can open back up.
They do that here
and do social distancing. Right now, I got a watering hole right up the street here. I can't go to that bar; it's closed.
That's right.
But it'll be open on Sunday.
Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Midnight.
They done the same with us last week. They said on the Friday. They said, right, on Monday you can't be in more than groups of 6 outside. It's against the law. If they've made it law, we can't be in more than groups of 6.
Well, so here it was 10, and now it's 25.
It's a law
on a Monday. So all weekend you could do what you wanted.
But come Monday,
Monday, COVID's going to wake up again and come for you.
Well, I kept trying to say
it's only going to come for the 7th person.
Transportation.
So Cobra takes the weekend off, is what they're saying.
Yeah, and the kids are in school. They don't go to schools. It's fine. They don't go to schools or pubs or buses or they don't go to groups of 6, but groups of 7. Oh, you're in trouble.
Now, my granddaughters are back in school. The school has opened. They are back, but they're practicing, social distancing and everything else.
Yeah, it's nonsense. My kids have been back Harry's been back for a week. He's already ill. Yo, what's up, Captain Jerk? Jack's been back for a couple of weeks. He's been ill this week.
Yeah, they all get ill when they go back to school because they're all exposed to new diseases. It happens.
Yeah. And it's that time of year where they all get ill, That's how you build an immune system.
Harry. I love those videos with Harry.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be plenty of them coming.
They're Those things are freaking awesome.
Yeah, I like to do spur of the moment, just chuck it on when he's having a bit of fun, you know. He's so interested in. He wants to know everything about the guitar. He wants to know the chords, the notes. What you know? He wants to know everything.
Hi, Hazy. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Thanks for having me up, Tom. Hi,
I
Shandon.
only popped up quick to say hello because I'm about to jump in a shower. I've had a long day, and
I told you I know how to clear a room.
I
It's got to
No,
show
no.
up.
On a bike. Yeah, and you haven't had a shower?
I
no,
can smell you from here.
I done 18 miles on my bike today.
There you
Oh, wow.
go. Yeah, he's pedaling his ass around his neighborhood.
Oh no, I went far. I went into town and up. We got a trail called the Taft Trail that goes up along the river.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
mostly
went-
downhill.
No. Listen, I live in Wales. Wherever you go is uphill when you go in there, and when you come home is uphill too.
Yeah. It's the same way here.
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here.
I know.
Up
I've been there.
Up and down, up and down.
I've been to Connecticut.
Yeah. Connecticut and Massachusetts. There's plenty of hills
Yeah.
here.
I went to Boston, and I went to a few other places.
I've never been to Connecticut. I came real close. They were going to pick me up at the airport and then go pick Captain Jerk up after they picked me up. And I was in New York waiting on the next plane. I said, and they said, well, we're just going to pick up Captain Jerk first, and then we'll meet you. And I go, I wanted to add another state to the list of states that I've been to, and I was looking forward to going to Connecticut, because then it would be Connecticut,
Why?
Massachusetts, New York.
It's so
What I've seen
stupid
in Connecticut,
here.
what I've seen, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful place.
I've been to
It's
Connecticut,
gorgeous. Yes, it is.
Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Connecticut's a gorgeous place, but start talking to the people and you're like, I want to leave.
No, I was just going to not even get out of the car. I mean, just to say that I was in Connecticut.
I stopped at a place called Jimmy's, a seafood restaurant, where I had steak.
You had steak at a seafood restaurant that must have gave you the middle finger.
Surf and turf.
Yeah, it was right on the coast as well. I mean, it was a beautiful place.
What an ass.
Yeah. What's his name? HO Motorsport sent me there. He paid for the meal and everything. It was unbelievable. It's a restaurant he's been going to since the 80s.
Has
They go there
anybody
all the time.
talked to him at all?
I haven't seen anything from
No,
Anthony in several weeks.
we haven't spoke to him since he left Dizzy's the
Last
day
year.
before his
Yeah, I
birthday.
know.
He just up and left, didn't he?
We're not
That's
Yeah.
your angry dog.
I think he's going through some stuff, and
That's fine.
he's got some demons, you know.
Whatever. He had never been on a live stream, and he might be socially awkward. I don't know.
Yeah, he was on a live stream, and actually he did a couple of live streams.
He was on my
Not
live
on a
stream.
live stream with other people, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He'd been on my live stream plenty of times.
Was he?
Yeah, remember all the fucking bullshit where we were arguing over millimeters, and then he wanted to hit me with the guitar,
Oh,
and then it all got silly. And then I met when at Dizzy's end, we met, and he was like, "Holy shit, you are big."
That's a heck of a thing to say.
But he's big. He's a big fella. I mean, he got hands like a fucking silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
I've never seen hands that big
Yeah. He's got
ever in my life.
big meat hooks, dude. Like,
Yeah,
holy
I
butt.
got big hands, but he got big sausage fingers, like huge fucking big pork sausages. Like he's a big fella. I think
I
he's
don't
lost a
know.
lot of weight.
I don't know if I'd be able to make a ring for that guy because, damn.
I don't think it's the coin big enough. You'd have to use like I don't know what you'd have to
Exactly.
use.
I'd have to start off with like a few ounces of silver and freaking like make it into a nice bar and then freaking
You'd need an old British penny.
When he goes to a jewelry store to buy a ring, they have to put a surcharge on it. That's the
Yeah.
size of his fingers.
Hey, I tell you what, I've called K Jewelers and like Hanush and a bunch of other freaking like jewelry stores, right? Like big name jewelry stores, and they're like, nobody has a finger that big. But I tell them it's bigger than a 15. Well, my sizer only goes to 14. Nobody has a finger that big. I'm
Well,
like,
you wanna make a bet?
Did he tell you that?
so,
Yeah,
and I keep telling my friends, go into jewelry stores and ask for a sizing.
Yeah.
And they said, a couple of people have actually told me, no, I used to work in a jewelry store. They will not size your finger unless you're buying something. I'm like,
Well,
oh.
telling me you want to
So-
buy something.
Guess
What
what?
if you just wanted to try something on?
I went.
You didn't say, oh, well, I'm not
A
interested.
friend of mine sent me a sizer,
I had
and it only goes up to 15. When
I've
I
had
made
a
a ring
ring
for
size
Drive
way
Shaft
back
Drew, when I made a ring for Drive Shaft Drew,
Yeah.
it falls off of the handle.
Yeah, Drew's got big, huge hands as well. Drew is strong as a fucking
It
ox.
doesn't. The ring that I made for him doesn't fit him anymore. It won't fit him
Well, it's
anymore.
too tight.
No, it falls off of him now because
Oh,
he,
yeah.
dude, he
Yeah.
lost like
He lost a lot of weight.
freaking,
Yeah.
like 75 pounds or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
fit me
yeah.
anymore. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Right. Anyway, guys, I gotta go and jump in the shower 'cause it's getting late. It's 25 past 11.
All right, Hazy. Thanks for
if you
stopping in.
That's okay. I thought I haven't spoken to anyone for a while, so I've been sorting my shit out, you know. So
Yeah.
we all are.
yeah, thought I'd come in and say
Hey,
hello.
I'm finally getting to a project that when this house was being built, when it was, T-Dub, Pat and I were standing in the garage and I pointed at that wall. I sat there and I said, I'm going to cut an access panel in there and we're going to sit there and be able to store stuff underneath the stairs.
I know. I've seen the video.
Yeah.
I do watch.
23 years, Hazy.
Yeah, I know. I do watch your videos and stuff. I don't always comment because sometimes it's late at night and I watch on the TV, so I can't comment, you know. But I am still watching, and you know, I'm still here. I'm just sorting my own shit out for a second.
Like I said, it took me 23 years to sort this shit out, to sit there and get time to sit there and do this. So
yeah, but look at all that space that's just wasted. You know what I mean? It's silly.
Yeah, that's and every closet in every bedroom upstairs has a box of leftover flooring for when I did the hardwood flooring upstairs. So I put it in the closet. Well, now I can gather up all those and store them underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you filled it up before you even got in there.
Yeah, I knew I was going to do it before I even moved in the house. We had already paid for it, pretty much had the mortgage on the house. Yeah, it was mine, but I sat there and so I sit there in 23 years because we've been in this house now 23 years. The other thing is we sat there and Nancy made him a big tray of enchiladas, and I gave him a roll of CAD 5 wire and outlet boxes, and they ran CAD 5 wire from here in this office upstairs into the game room and put an outlet there. So then if back in the day before Wi-Fi, you had to hard cable computers together because we had the T-Dub and Pat's computer upstairs to tie into the internet and the network up there. And so they ran CAD 5 up there for me. Now CAD 5 is outdated and it's CAD 6A, I think it is, for cabling. So
okay, this is the Hazy days. It's the only thing I can find in the refrigerator cold that wasn't alcoholic. So cheers to you, Hazy.
Yeah, listen, I'm just drinking gallons of water.
It's water. It's a bottle of water.
I'm literally
I
drinking.
thought I had some Diet Cokes in there cold, but I don't.
the only time I drink is on my Friday shows. I drink water all during the week.
Yeah, well, I haven't had a drink for 18 days.
I haven't had anything alcoholic for like 4 days. Since
for me, 18 days is a very long time.
I had
I
one beer.
last time I went that long. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I've got to go. I'll speak to you all soon.
See you, Hazy.
Pleasure.
Thanks for stopping in.
Bye, guys.
Oh, well, stick around,
Goodbye.
baby. I got an unboxing.
Oh, he had to take off.
All right, another goodie.
All right, hold on. Let me make you big, David.
All right.
You got it's all yours, David.
All right.
eBay.
Woo, eBay.
eBay purchase.
This came from an estate seller, so I'm sure it was an estate sale. And something odd I've noticed about the last 5 things I've gotten have been shipped by FedEx. I can't remember the last time I got a package that was shipped through the post office.
Every now and
still
then
do.
when I order from Amazon, I'll get it in the mail.
Yeah, I've been getting like some of the stuff that I've been getting from eBay is actually fulfilled by Amazon.
Yeah, I've had that happen too. I've had order something off eBay and I get this package from Amazon.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I guess if you're a store owner or a retailer, there's Amazon. I guess you can be logged in with Amazon too. So, you guys. I guess Hazy and everybody else missed the joke I made about Hazy. Remember back in the day, you used to be a peddler. I used to sell stuff. You know, I'm a peddler. I was peddling. Okay.
Yes.
And when I sat there and I said, Hazy Days is peddling his ass around his neighborhood, he's selling his. No, but
Yeah, I got a story behind it.
Come on, people, wake up. All right. Sorry, David. Go ahead.
Did I interrupt you, Tom?
No.
No.
What do you got?
The reason I bought this one is a couple of weeks ago I bought one, and some of the models have a metal spring like that goes in there. And somebody was selling one, and they said it's broken, the piece that is missing. So I had one that had the switch that wasn't working. I haven't been able to find any of the switches. Everywhere it's been out of stock. So I can fix that because I had a ring from one that didn't work. It turns out all of them are slightly different size. Well, I ended up messing like 3 of these things up trying to get one ring. It's one of those precision fit things, and it's got to be matched to the model that you have. Well, some of the models had a metal band that went around. So this is like the old one that I had. So I don't know. The metal ring was ugly anyway. I like this one with the metal band around. It looks more authentic or something. $10. So
Cool.
I want a good beer.
All right. David,
Yeah.
let me show you this. Hang on. Get us all back together. Okay. Oh, wait, I better just make me big anyway. Here. This is where all my hard to get parts is where I've been going. My hand stopped shaking. I need more booze.
But they might have that switch. I'll go when I can't quite make that out, but I'll rewind the video later and go on the website. And no, even their website, the company that makes it, says it's out of stock. I went on Amazon and they're out of stock.
That's what they said when I found these guys when I was looking for the sight glass for my air compressor because it had fogged up with all the painting when the compressor was in the garage and all the painting that it was doing. The glass lens got. And even if I tried buffing it and wet sanding it it still was fogged up. I couldn't see the oil in the level of oil in the compressor. Yeah. So I was calling around, couldn't find anything. And then I found these guys, and these guys after that, I need a replacement. I call these guys. I go online and
Actually, I'm looking for some nickel cadmium batteries for a Coleman. I bought this tool kit, not realizing it's pre-owned, not realizing it had nickel cadmium batteries, and the lithium batteries will not replace them. I found one guy on eBay that had a cadmium battery for like $77 that just missed it by hours. He's never reached.
Okay, what kind of battery do you need?
Nickel cadmium battery.
What voltage? What?
9.2 volts.
Okay, that's better. Now you can replace that with the same voltage in an NiMH or nickel metal hydride.
If I can find the nickel metal hydride battery.
You can find nickel metal hydride batteries or lithium batteries even, and you can find somebody, you can find a freaking seller that actually has that battery inside of a case that fits the freaking inside of whatever you're freaking whatever you're putting it in. So is it a flat battery or is it a block battery? What is it?
It's a battery that is for a power tool. It's a set of power tools.
Ladies and gentlemen of the round table just entered the chat.
That
How's
is
it
Lisa.
going? Yeah.
That's Lisa.
Hey, remember this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep. I still got a few of those.
Huh?
I still got a few of those pictures.
Oh, okay.
I got one over here up on the refrigerator all the time.
All right. Who are the other? I know Tina, and I know Sheena, and I know Dizzy, and I know you. But who are the three lower people?
Okay. The girl with the hat on is Sheena.
I know Sheena.
Okay.
But starting him.
That's
her,
Cab 7.
Okay, and him.
That's Bobby.
Okay.
And then me and Crystal are right between them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my fourth index finger's on Crystal here.
Yep.
That's who I thought it was. Okay. All
and
right.
the biggest guy in the house was the smallest one in the picture.
Because you were buried by people?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cab
well,
7
Hazy's
is,
not on anymore, so I'm in
Cab 7 is about as tall as Dizzy.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's the one who took the picture, though. That's why it's angled like that.
And I have my
so
own
is
too.
Bobby. Bobby's about the size of Dizzy as well.
Okay.
Those guys are very big.
I don't want to have to try to dig it out while we're live, but I have one. I think I put it with my other photos. It's in one of my albums. So,
Hi,
Well-
Lisa.
Here, without me screwing too much up. See this bulletin board right here? This is my favorite bulletin board. It's got all my crap on it. You know, like Beats an Unsprinklered Hotel here for Snoopy. See a doghouse with a valve piping going up to a sprinkler head above Snoopy sleeping. That's my mom and dad at their wedding. There's there's Pat. I mean, this is my junk bulletin board. My favorite Jane Fonda.
You really like Snoopy, don't you?
With Jane Fonda.
I do too, like Snoopy.
And then let's see, this is all my brothers and sisters. That's me in the middle. So that's where this picture is going, is up there on the bulletin.
That's where it goes. That's where it belongs.
Hey, Tom, I'll tell you what. I used to have a Snoopy clock.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, I sure did. For a couple of years, I had them.
Okay.
So what's for dinner, Captain Jerk?
Chicken.
It's gone now, isn't it? It sounds like the plate's almost empty.
No, I just started.
It's chicken.
I was going to say, he can't be finished already. It just, I mean.
Well, I stepped out of the room. I had to get a beer. I just got the water because Hazy was on there.
Well,
then,
yeah, I was going to.
I got it. He left. He left.
I was going to tell Hazy.
I only got it like 2 minutes ago.
I was going to tell Hazy, I sat there and I said, about 4 months ago, I sat there and realized that I was gaining too much weight. And I said, that's it. And so I cut my meal portions in half. I don't drink soda anymore. I stay away from potatoes and pasta and breads and all that stuff, and primarily drinking water. And on Fridays, on the weekends, I indulge myself. Everything else, weighed myself this morning. I'm at 235.
Sunday is my
and I started
day. I can eat anything I want. But I've done exactly what you're doing. I cut my portions in half and quit and laying off at least 90% of the beer will make you gain weight.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was drinking it to cool off because it was really cold. I drink diet sodas anyway. Very rarely do I drink a regular.
I got a refrigerator full of Coke Zero, and I don't drink it anymore.
It gives me a headache.
It's just not.
The
And I
sweet-
started. I was at 260, and this morning I was at 235. So I'm happy.
How long did it take you?
This is about 3.5, maybe 4 months.
Okay.
When I started noticing it, I'm not
Well,
doing.
I
I am not doing anything different. I'm not started walking. I have not started exercising, but I'm pretty active anyway. For my age, running around doing half the stuff I end up doing.
You do. You must do half of that walking in the garage.
In the garage and doing the stuff I do. So I haven't changed anything. The only thing I've changed is the consumption in the pie hole. That's it.
Well, beer will make you gain weight.
Well, this is my Friday.
Beer will make
This is my Friday indulgence. I get to do this on Fridays. Because once the show's over, I stop drinking and I'm back to water.
I'll tell you what. I drink one coffee a day pretty much. I don't drink soda. I rarely drink juices anymore. Even in my coffee, I cut my freaking sugar in my coffee by half.
Well, everybody says how healthy juice is. You got to consider.
I have one sugar in my coffee. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't eat snacks. I will not touch chips or freaking store-bought cookies or anything like that. And I just recently slowed down on eating home-baked goods. I'm going to freaking stop eating that kind of sugar as well.
Cut the bread out. Except maybe bread on a sandwich. Now,
Cut all the carbohydrates out. That's
I don't make sandwiches anymore.
I don't eat sandwiches anymore. I'll take I want a ham and cheese sandwich. I'll take the ham and cheese and roll it up together and sit there and eat it that way.
Yep.
make roll up.
The bread's staying on the shelf, And if I want to dunk it, if I want mustard on it, then I'll put a little pool of mustard on the paper plate and dunk it that way.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. I was never really a big bread eater in the first place, but I do like my mashed potatoes and gravy.
I love bread.
It's all out. No mashed potatoes and gravy. No bread.
I know.
Yeah.
I still eat potatoes once in a while. Not very often.
Ladies and gentlemen of the round table, said David C. Hello, sweetie.
Sweetie?
Yeah, I'm just getting back to the chat because we were talking.
She calls everybody sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does she want the link? She wants to come up.
Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. If she wants the link, tell me. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, it is in the chat. Up and hot. So yeah, this replacement parts place was so far, knock on wood, they have not, every time I've looked or called, they've found or got me the item.
What?
I was looking for. Different replacement parts, like for my air compressor.
Yep.
A lot of compressors, things like that, the OEM parts on them.
My compressor, I needed. There was some. It's been mostly tools that I've been needing stuff for, and they've had it. A little switch on my DeWalt Saber saw, I needed to replace. Different stuff.
I worked for a company one time that sold switches for things, and we went through a couple of companies that sold switches. And if you could cross it over to the part number on the switch, like one of the companies was Omron. We had a catalog. This was before the internet. We had a catalog of that thick of every switch that company made. And as long as you could match up, they even had little pictures of the switches. If you could find that in that Omron catalog, you can order that switch. Those days are long gone. But one company was Omron. I can't remember the name of the other company that we went through.
Yeah. They tend to do. I mean, I will think of auto parts now. I mean, back in the day when I go to Northbrook Auto Parts, and there'd be a crusty old guy standing behind the counter with this big rack of books that went from here to here, you know, and he'd pull it open. What are you doing? I'm doing. Oh, okay, fine, you know. And they'd
I
say,
was the guy. We did commercial food service equipment. Anything in a kitchen, in a restaurant or in a cafeteria or anything, I could research and get you a part for. And a lot of it was obsolete, you know, kind of oddball parts. And I did it. This was before the computers. I'd have to go. I knew these places all over the country that sold things like that. And I would start making phone calls. Do you have an XYZ? No. Then go down to the next guy. Do you have an XYZ? No, I don't have an XYZ, but I know somebody that does. After about
in the house.
half a dozen phone calls, you've got it in the mail.
Well, the point I was trying to get at is that now they had these old big books back. Now they're doing it on a computer. I went into, what was it, O'Reilly Auto Parts with the battery. I needed a new battery for the 68 Camaro. This was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Went in there with the battery and set it down. And I said, I need a new battery. And she says, okay, what car is it for? And I said, no, I want this exact same battery. She says, but what car is it for? I go, it's for a 1968 Chevy with the battery mounted in the trunk with a Ramjet 350 cubic inch engine in it. And you ain't going to find that on that computer. I want this battery.
I wanted a light bulb for my scooter. And, you know, what I had was a company that was based.
Take a minute and look at the chat.
Oh yeah. Hi, Tertessa. How you doing?
Hello. But anyway, this company wasn't a name brand it wasn't a big brand name. So I went to Honda, big shop. You know, they had every part in the world. And this company called SYM, they contracted with Honda. They made parts for Honda.
Oh, and you're right about the coriander on there.
And
Holy shit.
I needed a light bulb that went over the license plate. I took the light bulb in with me, and they said, "What model is that on? Is that for a Honda?" And I said, "No, it's a Sim." We need a model number for a Honda. And I said, "I'm sure they make a Honda that has this bulb." So they call this head honcho guy in there. He looks at this little bulb, and he says, "I think I have something like that." And sure enough, he brought it out. It's the same bulb. But he could tell me what Honda motorcycle that light bulb went on. And it turned out it went on one of those like an Elite or those little things from like the 80s.
What the point I was getting at again was auto parts stores. Now you go in and you tell them what you want, okay? And all they do, nobody has any knowledge behind it. All they know now is how to work that computer. Very seldom do you find in a parts store now that you go in and you can really talk to a guy who has wrenched on a car and knows what you're talking about.
Not an auto parts store, no.
Nowadays, you get into a parts store and all the kid knows is how to work the software on that computer. If you tell him what your problem is and what you're looking for, that individual has not got a clue on what you're doing.
Yeah, if you go to Advanced Auto or freaking, what do you call it?
O'Reilly. Or Advanced Auto.
I don't know about, or Advanced or what's that other one?
There's 2 or 3 of them, big ones.
Now Napa is a different story. If you go to a Napa,
what's that other parts store that everybody?
You got Pep Boys.
AutoZone.
AutoZone is garbage most of the time. Advance is just as bad as AutoZone.
Mm-hmm. And O'Reilly Auto Parts is just a little bit above both those two. Not much, but they're a little in my book, a little
I
above.
heard Pep Boys was okay,
Yeah.
depending on which one you go to.
Justin, I was about to say the one everybody likes around here that does miracles is Napa.
Napa's
Part in
usually
there,
the place
and
to
they
go.
will match that
When
part.
I have to buy certain parts for the Camaro, I go down to what is called Charleston Auto Parts. It's a local chain. There's 5 stores located throughout the valley.
Yeah.
And you go in there and you actually talk to an individual who has worked on a car. You tell him what you're doing, what you want, and he'll get you your part.
Yeah.
And they're not. And granted, there's computers there and everything else. But
An individual that's worked on a car and not just changed freaking wheels.
Wrenched. Yeah. So you're right.
Nowadays, the freaking kids that freaking supposedly work on cars, they change the wheels and tires, they lower it to the ground, and I think they're a mechanic.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to sit there and get the balls up to sit there and walk into O'Reilly Auto Parts and say, I need a chrome muffler bearing for a 1968 Camaro. Can you help me?
Well, see, one thing about these like stores like Advance, they're not really auto parts stores. They are department stores.
Yeah, they're more like
what they have in there are see, it's going to make a point here.
they're more like a convenience store.
They're more of
Your 7-Eleven for auto parts.
Yes.
you know, things, your floor mats, and your cosmetic things. But as far as getting down to nuts and bolts parts, you could get a battery, you could get a spark plug, but as far as getting down into the car and getting a part, they don't have it.
Yeah.
It's a convenience store. It's like a 7-Eleven of the auto parts store world.
Yeah.
Me and Tom both just said those things. But anyway.
I know you did.
But now, seriously, I know people that have worked at AutoZone and Advanced, and you're like, yeah,
It's like
I just work here. My friend Casey works there, and he's like, I work here because they pay me.
I think they make about $16 an hour. I mean, they get paid relatively well in an auto parts store. So,
Casey knows enough to get by to freaking be a mechanic if he really wanted to. I hope he got out of that store, and he is now. But before, he worked at Advanced Auto, and he's just like, I work here because they pay me. Not because this is the place where people like me should be working. No, actually, I told him that. But, you know.
It's better than not having a job at all, and it may be a stepping stone to a better job, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Gemma.
At least you have a job.
Hey, Gemma.
You can say, oh, yeah, I work.
Wants to come up? I'll pop the link in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and copy the link so I can do that periodically.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's I mean, Northbrook Auto Parts to me was I go in there and I'd sit there and talk to the guys and tell them, say, sit there, what you doing? I don't know. I think I need a valve job. Oh, yeah, why? Well, and Northbrook Auto Parts had a machine shop with it. So why do you think you need a valve job? I said, I got a miss. I plugs, plug wires, points, I can't get out. It's still a miss in there and everything else. And then this one guy sat there and he says, take a $1 bill. And again, this is what I got from an auto parts counter guy. He says, take $1 bill. He says, don't you dare use any bill bigger than a $1 bill. And he says, go out. And he says, you got dual exhaust? And he goes, yeah. And he said, which side do you think is missing? And I told him the left. And he goes, well, fold the dollar bill flat like this. And he says, and put it under the tailpipe. And as the air is popping out with the exhaust, if you got a bad valve, that one instance, it'll suck in. That's why I say a $1 bill, because if you're not holding on it tight, it's going to suck it back into the tailpipe and it might not get spit back out. And I sat there and I never would have thought of anything like that. And sure enough, I sat there and I turned around and I went home and I did it. And sure enough, if the one side was stuck and it was a stuck valve, and I needed to do a valve job on the car.
Later, Tessa. I told my friend that same exact thing, Well, I told him that when I put my hand over his exhaust, I'm like, dude, it's like pushing out, and then like for a split second it sucks in. So I think you got a freaking bad valve or something, dude. And he's just like, oh, I don't know. So
Valve tap adjustment.
yeah, he definitely had some kind of issue there because I didn't even freaking know. I was just like, yeah, I think that's a bad valve, stuck valve or something, whatever the hell's going on. But there's freaking vacuum.
So whatever, I do it myself. I put my hand over the end of the exhaust right after it's just started up because it's before it's hot.
Hey Tom, hey David, thanks for putting the link in the chat, buddy. Hey Tom, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey Justin.
How you doing? What? Happy girl? All right.
Happy camp.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Very happy. I had another successful stream for a change. Yay.
Oh yeah.
We're finally talking shop.
The fact that I'm wearing a yellow shirt, I never wear yellow. I bought this the other day and I didn't realize until I got home how bright it was.
Okay.
All right. Hold down the fort. I'll be back.
Sure. No problemo.
Cheers. Coca-Cola.
No, I can't drink that stuff. Bad for you.
I know. I've been drinking all day. But I did get abused by a shop owner again today.
You what?
Yesterday. I got abused by a shop owner again yesterday.
The fish and chip guy again?
Nope. News agents.
Are you famous enough to be on the news?
I gave him what for, don't worry. I spoke my mind about him. I was like, I basically called him an effing dick to his face.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Didn't end well for him, let's just say that. I pretty much spoke my mind to him. I was like, I know you threw someone else out earlier. I was like, I heard when I walked up to the shop you threw a guy with his service dog out because the guy was blind. And I was like, you're a fucking dickhead. And I was like, I saw you throw him out. I'm like, I'm disabled, you fucking idiot. I have autism. That's why I don't wear a mask because of my sensory issues. And I was like, you're going to throw a blind guy out with a fucking dog in front of me. What the fuck are you playing at? Like, you don't do that. Period. Ever.
Oh, here, you can't tell them. You have to let them come in.
Yeah, we are meant to too. We actually have a lot of shops over here that are adjusted for blind people because we have a lot of blind people over here. And the guy couldn't have given two shits about throwing the guy and his dog out. He had no shame whatsoever.
That's good PR. That really looks good for his business. For him.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I said to him that he was a dick, and I swore at him. And I refused to go in the shop and get my food in there. I walked out.
That would ruin his business.
Which is why I spoke up and didn't buy my groceries from there. I was like, I'll go elsewhere where I don't get disrespected and you're not disrespecting the blind guy and his dog. Mm-hmm. Not going to happen.
No.
Anywho.
We have grocery stores here that, like the one next door to where my job is, there's a lot of people that are blind that work there. The whole shop, there's a Family Dollar. There's a Family Dollar's kind of like your Poundland.
Yeah.
It's they're very sensitive to people that are blind. They come out and say, "Can we help you?" You know, they'll show them where stuff is in the store and stuff like that. They'll help them shop. Yeah, they want business. You know.
Yeah, of course they do. A lot of the shops here are usually quite good with that. I think it's because it's the small independent businesses who don't really have to be sticking to the rules. Like they can decide who they let in, who they don't. And I was like, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not going to give my service to somebody who's a dickweed.
Well, they're not going to stay in business long if they do that. You can't find people here that have independent business. It's usually a chain. National, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is fun. I did what I did, and I walked away, jingling my bracelet at him. I was like, "Bye," and
I was
jingled my
just
bracelet.
commenting. I haven't heard that comment in a long time. Dickweed.
Dickweed.
Yep, dickweed. I use it a lot instead of swearing. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, well, you're just a dickweed," instead of swearing at a person.
I haven't
I
heard
would
that.
have said I can't believe you did that. I would have rolled
When I
my
was younger,
card over to the side and said, "Well, deal with it. I'm not shopping here anymore," and I would not
Yeah.
have paid for it and walked out.
You know,
I would have done
when I was
exactly what-
younger, I always thought
Yes.
that dickweed meant pubes.
I never did know what that meant. I never did. I knew.
I
it
actually got taught the word dickweed by my late grandmother. Like, she was one person who could not stand any form of bad language, whether it was just stupid bad language or bad language to the point where she would discipline you badly if you swore in front of her. And I remember one time my uncle said something about he wanted to knock someone's block off. He's like, got annoyed with someone. He's like, "Oh, I want to knock this bloke's block off." And my grandma, his mum, was like, "What did you just say?" And she scolded him so badly in front of the whole family. He's like, "I won't be doing that again." And ever since then, no one would swear in front of my grandma. Nobody. Even though they told to do it, she'd like give you this look. I'm like, oh yeah, not going to do it. No.
Now, is bloke? I wondered, is bloke kind of like a derogatory word? And what I'm saying is,
No, bloke is another word for male. So like, you say, "Oh, I'm hanging out with this bloke."
Means
So-
guy, dude,
so you
fella.
know, I
Yeah.
can say,
Guy, bloke, this dude.
Yeah,
I know
bloke's
this girl
dude,
that's
guy,
hanging out. I
same
know
thing.
this
Yeah.
bloke that likes to go to this particular pub and he always orders a certain kind of beer. But it would be just like saying, I know this man that goes to this pub and he orders a certain kind of beer.
Yeah, when I go to the pub with my dad, he has his own glass with these little name
Well,
bands.
you know,
on
well, I
it.
thought bloke was like,
They get his cup down from the thing.
we have
so-
a word where we say dude, you know, I know this dude that
Yeah, we say dude too. Yeah.
dude could be considered a cuss word or a derogatory word.
No, it's not derogatory. Like, we say dude too. Like the other day, my uncle had lost his car at this restaurant we'd been to for dinner, and he was a bit drunk. He's like, "Dude, where's my car?" And we were trying to find his car in the
Wasn't
friggin'
that a
dark,
movie?
trying to
It's like
find
saying,
his car.
brother, where's my car?
just-
You know, it's like,
There he is.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that a movie? Dude, where's
Yes.
my car?
yeah.
Aston Kutcher, yes.
Well, I wondered if dude was like a kind of.
That was a great film, actually.
It's kind of like a word you don't say in mixed company, or is that?
Yeah, we have some funny language over here in the UK. We have a lot of weird words that you guys might think, "What the hell is that?"
I know what a bloke was. I just wondered if it was considered a
No,
disrespect.
it's not derogatory. It's just another word for man, male, dude.
Well, you know, if it's a bunch of guys together goofing off and carrying on, having a good time,
Yeah,
and you say, you look over and say, "This bloke's my friend," or "This guy's a
yeah.
good bloke," you know, it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone like a lot. My dad uses the word bloke a lot. He's like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out with the blokes, you know, having a beer, shooting the shit," and like he'll literally just say, "I'm hanging out with the blokes." And like tonight, he's at the pub. He rang me a little while ago, and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? Oh, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, can I come on camera and say hello?" I'm like, "No, you bloody well not. You're not going on my phone and saying hello to people. You're drunk. No." No. Not happening.
Okay.
You guys are more funny than us, though.
a lesson in what you call colloquialisms. That's what cultural colloquialisms are.
You guys are more funny than us, though. You guys have more humor and sarcasm than what we do. Hey, Irish.
Well, your country is known for Ben. Do you remember a show called Benny Hill?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was produced somewhere in the UK. I mean,
yes,
that was,
Benny Hill. I believe he was from somewhere like Preston or somewhere. I'm not entirely sure, but I know he was northern, so he's at the top of the country. As I'm at the bottom in the UK, so I'm completely different end of the country.
or are you saying you're glad you were at you're at a completely different end of the country from Benny Hill, where Benny Hill.
Yeah, he's up here and I'm like down there. I'm right at the
Well,
other
the
end.
show would come on late at night here, and it usually would be on one of those UHF, kind of independent channels. And back in the day, that was risque. It was a regular broadcast channel, but it came on late at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of Mrs. Brown's Boys over there. That's considered a risque
Anthony,
comedy show.
come join us.
Hey, Anthony.
Anthony,
See
The
you.
link's in the chat. Dave
Yeah.
got it in there. I got it in
check
there.
out the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Irish, how you doing? Anthony, what's up?
Rapping Irish, what's going on? Okay.
I must say, thanks to Captain Jerk, a lot of people love my skull jewelry that I've got on. The amount of compliments I've got about it, I'm like, yeah.
Well, I'm curious on what he's going to do with these things.
They ain't got here yet.
My turn, Tom.
You won't get until next week.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Look what time we've got. Nice.
I sent 2 of these Captain Jerk. He says he wants to experiment.
Sweet. I look forward to hearing that. That'd be good.
So
Oh.
anyway,
We're in trouble.
Hey,
Hello.
Anthony.
how you doing?
Oh man,
How you doing?
well, I'm doing good, man.
Benny Hill was born in Southampton,
You need, to
Hampshire.
buy, you need to buy some firewood.
Southampton. Okay.
He was born in Southampton, Hampshire, and he died in
Why? How many
Teddington,
cords could you sell me?
Teddington, London.
I don't know, but my
Oh,
chainsaw
okay.
went on strike.
So Southampton for me is about 4 hours by car. Southampton.
I still got 8 trees to go.
You still got what?
8 trees to go.
And your chainsaw gave the ghost up, and you got 8 trees yet to go. How many
Yeah.
cords you cut?
Oh God, man.
You think? I mean, can you give an estimate?
I done cut 4 trees that were about 60 to 80 foot tall. I got 2 oaks that were probably about 80 foot tall.
How big were they around at the base?
Anywhere from 22 to 78.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, that's why my saw gave up, because really my saw's not made for lumberjacking. It's more of what you would say, per se, a trim saw. Well, put it this way, I have a Stihl MS 250 and an MS 350 Rancher. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know where we
The MS 250 said, "You got to be kidding." The MS 350 Rancher burn up.
Yeah, I have a trim saw that's not really meant for heavy duty.
I have a pull-on wild thing if you want
Yeah,
that.
so right now I've been cutting most of my wood with believe this or not, a hold back. The majority of my wood has been cut with no problems from a Craftsman 18-inch.
That's what I got, essentially. It's a pull-on wild thing.
Yeah.
Pull-on and wild.
Hey,
Pull-on
hey,
and Craftsman, the same thing.
hey, it's a cut in full, so I'm not arguing, and I only paid $140 for it at the hardware store.
and it's doing the job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, because my MS 350 that died on me is 12 years old, and it's been put through a hard life. So, I can't knock it too much, Now my MS 250, the reason I'm having a problem with it is because the thing I preach to everybody: stop putting ethanol in gas. Yeah.
Okay.
Put it this way, I've been running nothing but true fuel, and I think that's why the Craftsman's actually doing better than the other two. Because the other two I was mixing myself, and when my 250 quit working on me, I was like, the diaphragm and the carburetor was just ate up. I was like, freaking ethanol.
Ethanol, and they put acetone and everything else in.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
said,
If you're gonna run the ethanol stuff, you might as well just freaking run the nitro fuel in the damn thing.
So I broke down and bought me some True Fuel.
Okay.
That way, if something happens to this one, I can go in there, hey, fix this shit.
Well, I know I'm not going to ask you to see the light at the end of the tunnel because you're far from it.
Now, I'm pretty much at a standstill because the majority of it, I'm going to wait till cooler weather.
Yeah.
But with my medical condition, me and heat have this agreement. I don't mess with it and it don't mess with me.
I can relate. I can only take several hours in the garage at 100 and some odd degrees.
Exactly. Well,
I got to get the hell out of there and cool off. But
today I didn't do nothing. But yesterday I kind of over pushed it because the time I stopped putting chainsaw down, my body wouldn't stop shaking. So
one day I was out there cutting the grass, and I was using a riding mower. I had like an acre, and it was over like a day that was like 100 degrees or something like that. And I started to get like this confusion thing start.
Yeah,
that's one of the early signs that you need.
Well, that's usually when I tell myself.
I saw a tree branch, like a tree branch. I was getting closer and closer to this tree branch, so I just put the brakes on, turned the lawnmower around, went back to the garage, and immediately went in the house and got a cold beer and took a shower, because that's one of the first signs that you've been exposed to too much heat and that you need to get out.
That's heat stroke.
The key thing is, I tell people, a lot of people are quick to rush in an air conditioner home. That's actually the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, don't be rushing into
The best thing you do is get in a shaded area with a fan.
Yeah, rush in. But my wife
slowly.
Crank.
Hey, I've done it. I made a mistake going in the house, jumping in the shower, got out, sitting in a cool room, and all of a sudden I went.
Back in the early 80s, I want to say early 90s, we were flipping cars, and we were flipping Corvettes. There were a lot of Corvettes at this auction, and we were just grabbing them and flipping them. And all I wanted out of the flip, my partner wanted the body. All I wanted was the engine.
Right.
Small black Chevy. I sat there and I said, all I want is that. So we were going right and left, and we were right in the desert area right next to his house. And Al looked at me and he sat there and he said, "Oh, come here, Tom." And he grabbed me and he put me inside the truck we had there. And then he drove me in his garage and he poured water on me. But I sat there. Apparently I really had heat stroke. My face was flush. I sat there and I was just babbling on, telling him, I wasn't making. He sat there and he said, "You had heat stroke."
Yeah,
and
you became
me. Yeah. I got the confusion thing. I wasn't going fast on the mower, but it was like I shouldn't be. Why am I driving the lawnmower toward a tree branch? I said, I better stop this. I think it's the heat.
It was our third Corvette of the day. It was our third 350 of the day. The truck was my truck because it was back there and we were putting the engines in the back, and it was Al's, you're out of here. Yeah. We'll finish it. We'll come and get you when we're done. And so he poured cold water on me, and I laid down on his garage and on an air mattress, and he just bathed me in water. And he says, "You stay here." And both my sons came in and sat there and looked at me and go, "Dad, you okay?" "Yeah." "All right." And then they went out, finished the third engine, and we sat there, and I just sat there. And I go, I didn't even know it was happening. That's the scary thing.
Well, yeah, because you think you're talking normal.
Yeah, you're talking normal. Everything's normal. Everybody's understanding you, and you're just.
Well, if you're focused on a task, if you're doing one thing and you're how when you're working on something and you're thinking about it and all that, you're not aware of what's going on around you. You could easily have confusion and not even know it. It would feel normal to you, and then all of a sudden, it's easy. You're not making any sense. You've got a problem.
That's heat stroke, and that'll definitely do it to you.
Yeah, like I say, you think you're making sense, but everybody's looking at you like, what?
Mm-hmm.
The hell did he just say?
Yeah. Jenna, how long is your hair?
Oh, damn.
Hair. Ooh, it's long.
This is 8 months of not having it cut. My hair is usually a lot shorter, but because of the hairdresser's ban right now, the fact that I have to wear a mask if I want my hair cut, no. So this is 8 months of
That's
not
too
having-
bad. They're giving out free haircuts.
Yeah.
because I've washed it. It's like afro-y. It's like all sticking to me. It's like
I donated blood the other day. They emailed me a coupon for a free haircut. Now I need to find out. It's called Sportsman's. I don't know where that is. I'm gonna have to find out where Sportsman's is because
Yeah.
it's a name of a place. They got another one called Quick Cuts.
You can get yourself a fade.
I'll just have them do my usual number
That's
2.
like,
Break it all off.
What's that hair place in Walmart? I can't even remember the name of it. But it's always in most all the Walmarts. The little haircut place.
my cousin's wife said that she'd
Hey, Nance,
do my hair with like clippers and
what
stuff.
haircut places in
I'm
Walmart.
not trusting her do my hair with clippers. No, thank you.
In
But
a
it-
sleep
it-
or something.
But anyway, they were a lot of the beauticians in there were telling people, hey, by law, we have to tell you got to wear a mask. And I'm thinking, well, how in the hell are you going to wear a mask and cut my hair with all this?
Right.
It's all this flying around.
How you gonna get around my ears when there's a freaking mask on them?
Well, legally, they have to ask you, but you can look at them and go, no, thank you. You can wear
I
the
don't
mask.
see how they could possibly cut your hair with a mask.
Well, that's why I told her. I said, you can wear the mask because I know I ain't got this shit. I don't know you, so you can wear the mask all you want. You ain't getting hair that I am.
Well, I think if you get close, and I think this is your point, Anthony, if they're
Yeah.
close enough to you and they're touching you and they're cutting your hair off,
Right, yeah.
you're
yeah.
not, whatever germ is going to be there, you're going
It's on your face. Yeah, it's
You
there.
guys are sharing.
Especially when they're sitting there with the scissors and dealing their
They're
hands.
standing
Yeah.
over top of
No,
you,
I
cutting
got
your
the perfect
hair.
solution to the freaking to all of that nonsense. You go hook up the Flowbee to the Kirby and put it on a stick and be like, social distance snap, motherfucker.
Hold it up. Is that long enough? Is that how short you want it? Okay, click, cut.
During this mess, you inspired me, Captain Jerk. I got a pair of clippers like yours, and I've been doing it myself, and it's been saving me a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
But
whack
what
it
I
right
want-
down, dude. Who cares? Just
Since they're
freaking
giving
shave
them
it
away
off.
free, I can't quite get it in the back. You can't do the back yourself, and it's like
Use
I'm
2
gonna take-
mirrors, one in front of you, one in back of you.
I'm going to take them up on that free haircut just so they can kind of.
Or do like I do. I have a
Straighten it up
solid
in the
beard
back.
behind me and I have the other one on a flex arm. That way
So
you
they can get that.
Seen it
You're gonna
done.
take them up on that free haircut so they can get that hippie ponytail off your neck.
Right. It likes to grow down my back. It's some kind of our family has that. It's a gene.
as my grandpa used to say, hey boy, you need a cut. You're starting to look like a hippie.
You got to
You
do.
ever come back to your grandpa and say, Grandpa, I am a hippie.
Yeah. Well, I had to break his heart. Granddad, that's not long hair. That's called a mullet. Of course, in his generation, is that supposed to make it any damn better?
For some reason, though, the mullet is still alive and well.
Oh
in the
yeah.
United
Yep,
States.
it is. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's on the comeback. It's coming back.
No, it's not a comeback. It
No,
never
it's
went
still
anywhere.
going on. You know where the biggest place I've seen
You mean it never died?
No,
No.
it never died.
some places it never died because I'm gonna tell you there was one place I was at and I seen the most mullets I ever seen in my life, and I grew up around hillbillies that love mullets. Okay,
Okay.
it was Australia. I was like, holy crap!
The mullet never died in the United States. It was alive and strong the whole time. Never
just-
went anywhere.
You just gotta go to the right place and you'll see a crap load of them.
Okay. All
It was
right.
like that in the UK for years too. Like I've got photos on my side here, on my bedside cabinet, and my dad having a mullet.
Yeah.
My dad had a mullet for years.
Yep.
Around here, there's people that have mullets because this is a farming community.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
This is a farming town.
Well, you go now. Just go north of was it Buffalo, New York?
Yeah.
Go up in the countryside. You see them all over the place.
Yeah.
You'll see them with the mohawk in the middle.
No, I was told by my mum
Oh yeah,
yesterday that apparently she gave me a mullet when I was young. I was like, oh, good God, mother,
I've
really?
seen so many mullet hawks. It
Yeah.
would amaze you. Unreal. Mullet hawks used to be one
The
of the most
thing.
popular haircuts around our town was the mullet hawk.
Oh man.
I lived in a town called East Hartford, and yeah, the mullet hawk. Oh, geez. Wow.
Mullet hawk.
I'm
God.
very familiar with the mullet hawk. I could cut your hair in a mullet hawk in freaking like 3 minutes. Let's go.
My niece did one of her boys. He's about 7 years old. She says, "Look, I come up with something new." I said, "Honey, that's been out for years. That's called a mullet mohawk. They've been around."
Put it this way: the mullet hawk was essentially the Joe Dirt.
Yep.
Joe Dirt.
It was very similar to the Joe Dirt, except it was a little tighter up on the head
Yeah,
like that.
but it
and
was
had
wide.
stripes like this.
Yeah. Look like louvers on the side.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I remember those. They look like louvers down the side.
Man,
Yeah.
my friend went to go get that haircut one day. Right, he comes back with it, and his mother takes one look at him, and she's like, "You look like a Puerto Rican." I'm like, "Oh, jeez, what is even going on?" Dude? It was a very popular haircut with the Puerto Ricans in the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky her son wasn't like me because I would have looked. She's lucky her son wasn't like me because I would have looked at my mom and said, "See, see, senor."
whatever, man. Hey, your family they are who they are, freaking.
Well, my mom will tell you to this day, I'm an ass when it comes to. She get on me and I'd say off the wall crap. She goes, "I'm gonna kill you one day." Or my favorite, "You're just like your damn dad."
Yeah, I've been told that, and I never really knew the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, me either. So don't feel bad.
I never really knew the sucker, but whatever. I
I
tell
think
you
my
this.
dad left when I was 4. The last time I seen him physically was when I was 10.
I tell you
He's
this.
dead and buried now.
I have 3 new freaking molds that I want to make. 3,
3.
Yeah,
and only one of them is a skull.
I've been 5. I don't know. I was young.
Ooh.
I can guess what the other mold is going to be. One of them.
What?
Captain, I need to I got money for you for that box. I need to send you the money to get that box from you.
Okay. See this skull right here. Oh my goodness. Ugh. It's heavy.
Oh, I love that.
Hold on, Captain. Hold on. What's that made out of?
Stainless steel.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Believe it or not, it's only 7 pounds, 7.5, something like that.
Yeah,
But
Sweet.
it's not very big, so like 7.5 pounds in this tiny little space. It's just like,
Yeah, but like I said, if you put that bottom of that mouthpiece in your hand and hold the eyeballs with your fingertip and swing that would hurt coming down on somebody's head.
Anthony. Ooh, that.
Well, I mean, think about it, Tom. How many times you hit your Tom, think about it. How many times you've hit yourself accidentally in the arm, the hand, the foot with a 5-pound mullet?
I love that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a little
We're
guy.
talking 7 pounds, man.
Gemma likes.
Anthony, you're talking a single jack, right?
Yeah.
Gemma likes a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Cap, did you?
We're gonna have to talk in private, Captain, about you doing some stuff
No,
for me.
Cap, did you cast those?
No, I bought these.
Oh,
I have 2 of these smaller ones. I only have one of those big ones because the big one costs a lot more money.
Yeah.
yeah.
7 pounds of stainless steel. Yeah.
You
Me and Justin are gonna talk in private.
It's not like this is Inconel or anything. It's like 316. So
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
or it's like 316 or 300, something like that. It's like virtually indestructible.
Yeah, but let me tell you where they get you on stainless steel. It's not the cost of material. It's when they put it together and that weighs 7 pounds or over and you're trying to melt it.
Well, from the site I get these, if your purchase is $45 or more,
Yeah.
your shipping is free.
Well,
So
no. My favorite deal is, hey, you can buy this today for $2.50, but $12.95 for shipping and handling. I'm like, get out of here.
well, put it this way: the company that I got the company that I get these from,
Yeah.
is actually a company that makes tactical stuff. So they
Right.
make like your titanium freaking like drinking straws and stuff like that. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Did y'all
they
see
make
the new gun?
titanium fish hooks. They make titanium bottle openers. Everything. Like a lot of it's just like titanium stuff, and it's freaking nice stuff. And
I
it's
don't forget the
expensive.
cowboy.
Pricey.
Expensive. It's
So-
nice. Yeah.
So it's not very difficult to go over $45 when
Yeah.
you're shopping
Oh,
around
oh,
at that site.
yeah. I've been to those sites.
It's called countycom.com. I can't even make that up. County, like you know, county, COMM, countycom.com is the name of the site. It's an interesting place.
COUNTYCOM.
M COMM.com.
2 M's.
Yeah, they had to do that because probably somebody else had already taken that name.
I don't know why. It's just it's their weird name. They're they actually make stuff for the like prototypes and stuff for the US government.
We have a government.
But they also sell to the public.
Yeah, we do a titanium scissor. They're made out of titanium and they are sharp.
Yeah.
And I asked them, what do people cut with these things? They said, oh, well, they cut cloth with them. I go, yeah, well, they're sharp enough to cut cloth.
You do know that there are paramedic scissors that can cut through just about any damn thing.
They are like a razor
Yeah.
blade. They are
Yeah.
really sharp scissors. They're
Like-
not they're not Dollar Tree or Poundland special. They are professional grade.
Paramedic scissors are sharp like that because sometimes
They have to cut your boots and everything else.
if you have something
cutting.
around your neck that
Jewelry.
they can't unclasp or something, they'll just snip, or on your ear, or like if it's choking you, or if it's like a tourniquet on your arm or something, snip.
Hey,
Well, see, that's for the Defense Department. There's no telling what the Defense Department uses those
I don't know.
titanium scissors for.
I know when I got in that bike wreck in '92, they cut a $450 pair of riding boots off of me like they were nothing.
Yep. Yep.
Did they kind of apologize to you? I'm really sorry, sir, but I.
Well, no, they tried to take them off, but by the time they got me in the hospital, my body had swelled so bad they couldn't even
Yeah,
collapse off. You know.
yeah, that's the sad thing. I mean, getting hurt, being in a wreck's one thing, but
Yeah, well, I
these
told
are all
him
hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars worth of gear because they'd have to cut the stuff off of you.
Yeah, I asked them, "Do you really have to cut my T-shirt?" And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "Damn!"
yeah,
Because it was a one. Dude, I cannot find that T-shirt to this
oh
day.
no, and you
We
never
can sew it back together.
I wanted to.
They usually only cut the T-shirt if it is a severe enough injury that they can't get access to. Otherwise,
well, they're
because
afraid
when
to
I
lose you
got
because they
one
can
over
hurt
12
you.
years ago, I had my favorite hoodie on at the time, and they had to snip it off. I cried. I was so upset. I was
I
like,
watched somebody who was in. I watched a video of somebody who was in some kind of a motorcycle accident, and the paramedics came, and he was wearing his gear. He was wearing all the safety gear. He was hurt pretty bad, but the jacket, how much? $400, $500 for a motorcycle jacket, and they had to cut that jacket off of him. And those paramedics said, "We have to cut it off." I'm so we're so
Sad
sorry.
thing
We
is-
know it was expensive.
Sad thing is, when it comes to riding a bike, the only 100% safety for a rider, 50% of it is this right here, your brain. The other 50% is the asshole that's in the other car.
No, Anthony, I beg to differ. 75% or 50% up here is you. 25% is riding in like you're invisible.
Right.
You ride like nobody sees you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
25% is the asshole in the other car.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't drive like that, and I've actually chased down other bikers that drove like that. And I tell them, I said, assholes like you are the reason people like me get run over.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, see, I was sitting at an intersection one day waiting for a light or whatever, and they had 4 lanes going one direction, and here comes some dude on a motorcycle. Everybody's going at like 45, and this guy was doing like 85 on a motorcycle, and he was riding in between the cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how you get your, and the people, I was in the carpool home from work, and the other guy says, "Yeah, that's real stupid, isn't it? That's real smart," and that's how motorcycle riders get killed and get hurt.
Lane splitting has gotten so bad here, they're getting ready to propose a new law to where if you get caught lane splitting, you lose your license for 6 months and they impound your bike.
Cool.
In California, they actually freaking tell you to do that. In the UK, it's legal. It's called filtering.
Yeah.
Well, I can see lane splitting.
There's still laws of filtering, though. Trust me.
If you're in an emergency situation.
And me as a motorist, how do I have respect for that motorcycle rider? He's able to. I'm bumper to bumper. I'm in line, and he's able to go down, split the lanes, and go down the middle. And now I'm supposed to have respect for that guy. Think about it. Human nature. You ain't
not going to happen because you're going to have people pissed off the fact you're doing it.
Zero respect for that guy. Zero, because he didn't have the patience to wait in line like I am. But the only thing is, my vehicle would.
Yeah, what are you talking about? There's cars that won't even respect that. They get on the shoulder.
Yeah. Where did Jenna go?
She drops out sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, it's getting on 4:33.
Yeah.
Time to end it. Anthony, I'm glad to see you in one piece, and you're doing fine. Are you okay? Everything good?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I didn't get worse than most people did. But these new homes,
Yeah.
look, people, if you get a house built, get involved with your contractor. Come there weekly and look how they're doing stuff. All the old houses like mine, still intact. All the new homes, they're not just missing shingles, they're missing the entire roof.
Yeah.
Shows you how they build crap nowadays. But yeah, I'll let y'all go. Have a good one, man.
So I want to thank Anthony, David Collins, Captain Jerk, Gemma was here, Tress was here, Shandog, everybody, and we'll see you next Friday.
Later.
Thanks for having me up, Tom. Later, Dave. Later, Anthony.
For you do it both hands.